Right now, somewhere in your house, there's a clock you never look at. It's not on your wall, it's in your bank account, and it's been counting down since the day you got your first paycheck. Here's a question nobody ever asked you directly. How many hours of your life did you just sell for that coffee you're holding? Most people never do this math. Not because they're bad with numbers, but because nobody ever taught them that money and time are the same thing wearing different clothes. Today, that changes. We're going to walk through 4 moments in a life, not $4 amounts. 4 moments where time gets sold, time gets stolen back, and time finally gets returned to its owner. Stay with me until the end, because the last moment is the one where a person realizes they've been living on borrowed hours their entire life, and they finally take them back. Picture a Tuesday night, 11:40. Someone's lying awake doing math in their head that has nothing to do with a calculator. Rent is due in 6 days. The car made a noise this morning it's never made before. And there's exactly $211 standing between now and disaster. This isn't about being lazy or bad with money. This is what it looks like when every single hour of your future is already spoken for before you've even lived it. Then something small happens. Maybe it's $50 a week set aside without asking permission from your own impulses. Maybe it's 3 months of saying no to something small. And one day, there's $1,000 sitting somewhere it wasn't before. Here's what almost nobody tells you about that first 1,000. It doesn't buy you a car. It doesn't buy you a house. What it buys you is a single night of actual sleep the next time something breaks. That's it. That's the whole transaction. You traded a few months of small no's for one night where your brain isn't doing math at midnight. Multiply that by every emergency you'll face for the rest of your life, and you start to see what's really being purchased. Not stuff. Silence. Now here's where it gets interesting. Move forward. The same person further down the road. They hate their job. Not dramatically, just quietly. The way a shoe that's slightly too small hates your foot all day. But they stay. Why? Because leaving feels like jumping without a rope. Now change one variable. Give that same person 8 months of expenses sitting untouched in an account they don't check every day. Watch what happens to their spine. Watch how they suddenly sit up straighter in meetings. Watch how a bad manager stops having the same power over their nervous system. This is the part nobody explains correctly. Savings at this level don't buy freedom yet. They buy something more specific. They buy the ability to say the word no and mean it. To a job, to a guilt trip, to a bad deal disguised as an opportunity. And once you've said no and the sky didn't fall, something in you changes permanently. You stop negotiating from fear. If you've ever felt that specific kind of trapped, the kind where you're not being fired, you're just quietly stuck, drop a comment and tell me what that job or that situation was. You are absolutely not the only one. Keep going, because the next part is where money stops being something you manage and starts being something that works a second job for you while you're asleep. Somewhere around $100,000 invested, something almost invisible happens. Money starts making money without asking your permission first. $7,000 a year, roughly, sitting quietly in the background at a normal, boring rate of return. That's not a fortune, but it's rent for some people. It's the electric bill and the car payment for others. It shows up whether you worked 60 hours that week or spent 3 days doing nothing at all. This is the moment people stop flinching at small purchases, not because they got reckless, but because they finally have perspective. A $5 coffee was never the problem. It just felt like one when every dollar was already spoken for. And here's the part that should genuinely surprise you. Getting from zero to the first 10,000 takes real, grinding, doubt your whole plan effort. But the jump after that starts happening faster, not because you're working harder, but because the money itself is now doing a shift you don't get paid for and never asked it to work. If you're actually watching your own numbers move like this right now, even a little, hit like on this video. It costs you nothing, and it tells me you want the next one. Now for the moment everything actually changes. Picture someone sitting on an ordinary bench on an ordinary Tuesday morning. Not a yacht, not a private jet, a bench, coffee going lukewarm in their hand, watching everyone else rush toward a train, a meeting, a deadline that used to own them too. And they don't have to move. Not because they're rich in the way movies show rich, because their money, sitting quietly invested, is generating enough to cover their life without their hands touching it. Roughly 4% a year off $1 million is $40,000 showing up annually, structured to basically never run out if you leave the engine alone. That's the whole secret behind what people call financial freedom. It was never about the number in the account. It was about buying back the one thing that was actually being sold this entire time. Your hours. Every one of those hours. The ones spent commuting to a job you tolerated. The ones spent doing math at midnight. The ones spent saying yes because no felt too dangerous. All of them get returned to you, one compounding dollar at a time. Here's the twist almost nobody expects. The people who reach this point rarely look like what you'd picture. No exotic car, no flashy anything. Just ordinary people who made the same small, boring, unremarkable decision over and over for years, without a single lucky break or windfall required. So here's the real question underneath everything we just walked through. What actually separates the person still doing math at midnight from the person on the bench with nowhere they have to be? It's not luck. It's not intelligence. It's not even income. It's the willingness to choose the version of you 5 years from now over the version of you tonight. Every single one of these moments, the sleep, the spine, the perspective, the bench, all of it gets built the exact same way. Small, quiet, almost boring choices that nobody applauds in the moment. If this shifted even slightly how you think about the hours you're spending right now, that's genuinely all this video was trying to do. If you want the next honest breakdown like this one, subscribe now so you don't miss it, because we publish something new every single week. And before you go, tell me in the comments, if you bought back just 1 year of your life starting today, what would you actually do with it? I'll see you in the next one.